Are fathers and sons really that alike? Does the son unwittingly kill the father, as Dr. Freud suggests, so that he can marry his mother? Where do gay sons fit in that Oedipus drama? Does it even matter? I'm the son of a conservative, Republican, homophobic father. And I love my conservative, Republican, homophobic father. I love him very much. And I know that he loves me very much. And although I once used to parrot his conservative views, I no longer do. In fact, I'm at war with much of what my father stands for. As for my dad's homophobia, what can I say? He's my dad, who I love. The same dad who raised me to be a principled and ethical human being, who taught me what it means to be a good and honest and hard-working man. You see, my dad embraces a worldview that considers me to be a lesser human being. Why? Because I'm gay. Me, his son, who he loves, and who he consigns to second-class citizenship here in his so-called land of liberty. But it's not just about policy. It's about policy in so much as policy is designed to either help people or hurt people. It's about my dad. And it's about me, his gay son. And no matter how much armor I put on, no matter how much activism and political bravado I wrap myself up in, the slings and arrows, they still penetrate. My father's homophobia hurts me. It hurts me deeply. And sometimes it makes me wonder if my dad really loves me.
I am not a homophobe, period. Now, perhaps like most normal people, at one time I was homophobic, whatever that means. It's not like the behavior of the so-called gay community gave me much to cheer about. My son Carl is a normal, intelligent, well-adjusted, likable, masculine male. Emily said she always knew. How? It's not as if he was playing with Jen's Barbie dolls. He wasn't wearing his mother's high heels, okay? You meet my son Carl, and the last thing you would ever expect... Look, Carl, he dated some girls in high school. I thought he and that Jennifer Wells were pretty serious for a while. I know he was never much into sports, but hey, the whole time he was growing up, we were in the backyard tossing a football around. And I played baseball with him. He was in Little League. Cub Scouts. I went on some of his camping trips. He was just like all the other boys, goofing off, scraping his knees, trying to pull the wool over his old man's eyes. The day he told Emily and me he was... says, if my precious son, my beloved Carl, died. Truth be told, I have a much bigger problem with Carl being a liberal than I do with him being gay.
Conservatives should be thrilled with today's LGBT movement. Hello, conservatives, you won! Seismic shifts in the gay agenda entirely in your direction. I mean, what are the signature issues of today's queer movement? Marriage and the military. What is more conservative than marriage and the military? Nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a marriage equality activist. I cheered the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. But when you stop and think about the early days of our movement, before my time, what was then called the gay liberation movement, not having to go to the military, not having to get married, these were the two great benefits of being gay. The gay movement was anti-military and anti-marriage. Today, we all want to be married men in uniform. Or at least marry a man in uniform. Sadly, our conservative friends think so highly of marriage and the military that they don't want us anywhere near either. Apparently we sully things. We cheapen everything. We homos are so cheapening. Or maybe it's because they hate us. Maybe they hate gay people more than they love their conservative principles.
Do I wish Carl were straight? Do I wish he'd meet a nice girl, get married, start a family? Yes, I do. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. Just the thought of him not having kids, not carrying on my bloodline, my family name. I think I like the idea of my son Carl being doing two men. Look, I'm not a scientist, okay? I understand these things. Sexual orientation, it doesn't change. I wish it could. At the beginning and end of the day, Carl is my boy, and me and his mother love him deeply. Emily and I want nothing more than for Carl to be happy and successful in life. Now, for all this liberal stuff, the Obama campaign, working at the ACLU, speaking out for illegal aliens, that I'm not going to accept. Fine, you're gay. I'm coming around. I'm adjusting. But I raised you to be a conservative, Carl. We are a Republican family. Yes, the Republicans need to rethink their position on gay rights and all, but hey, look at Dick Cheney. He has a more sincere and genuine position on gay marriage than Barack Obama. Well, for Cheney, it was never about constituent politics or pandering to the donor base. No, for Cheney, it was about freedom and liberty. Liberty for all Americans. What could be more conservative? Hey, look at the log cabin Republicans. Geo proud. There are gay Republicans, Carl. Come back to the fold. You've got allies, son. For God's sakes, you got me. You got your dad.
During the Second World War, there were Jews who collaborated with the Nazis. They were called capos. Enough said about gay Republicans. Can we call a spade here? Yes, I used to be a Republican, and I believed everything that my father told me that I believed. But then education seeped in, knowledge seeped in, awareness of the world around me seeped in, and my Republican politics, well, they seeped out. Which is why empathy and education and knowledge are all bad words in Republican circles. But fear, on the other hand, fear is a precious commodity in the GOP. You can't even put a price tag on it. Good old, reliable fear. Fear of people who are different from you, who look different, who believe different, who love different, speak different. You know what? Let's not even call it the Republican Party, because it's not the Republican Party. It's the scared white people's party. That's right, a national political party comprised of scared white people living on the wrong side of history. Hey there, are you a scared white person? Doesn't it scare you knowing that your views are becoming more irrelevant with each passing day? Doesn't it make you shudder? Let's see, shifting racial demographics, shifting religious demographics, growing acceptance of LGBT people. Boo! Dad, it's time to jump ship. You're so much better than those freaks. You taught me to be brave and to be confident, to look fear straight in the eye and to never let fear... Dad, come on. Deep down, you're not one of them.
Does anyone have a good cult deprogrammer out there? Fine. Carl has some anger issues he's working through with me. He's trying to define himself apart from his old man. Fine, I get it. Youthful rebellion. He'll outgrow it. A lot of intelligent, thoughtful, common sense people once went through a liberal phase. But you know what kills me? It's this liberal obsession with race. Liberals thrive on racial conflict and victimology. They love it. And by the way, that's not who Carl is. Fortunately, he's smart. He'll figure it out. He'll come to realize that beyond their social justice and their bleeding hearts, liberals have nothing to run on but divisiveness. They stoke resentment. They demonize hard work and success. They pit one group against another. A liberal looks out at America, and instead of seeing Americans, a strong, united people, all they see is victims and victimizers. And there's always a flavor of the month with liberals. One month it's blacks, one month it's gays, this month it's Muslims. I wonder how much Muslims care about gays, Carl.
I don't defend Muslims in spite of my being a gay man. I defend the rights of Muslims in part because I'm a gay man. Because I know what it's like to be scapegoated. I know what it feels like to be hated and despised. To watch your so-called neighbors use the power of the federal government or the state or the county or the municipality to discriminate against you. I know what it feels like to have my citizenship challenged at the ballot boxes, in the legislatures, in the courtrooms, in the so-called court of public opinion. I don't know much about Islam, but I know about bigotry. And I know a brother and a sister when I see them.
Sure. We have some crazies on our side of the aisle, too. Some Republicans need to be reminded that individual liberties are for all Americans, not just for some of us. But Muslims? Muslims stone gay people. They hang gay people. They throw gay people off of roofs. Carl, if you were black, would Klansmen be your brothers too?
Mom, you can stop kidding me. I was born in this family, remember?
So if Carl's really serious about this guy, this Angel...
What do you mean you're serious?
Suppose we should meet him.
Dad wants to meet on how?
Have him over to dinner.
No way.
You can make your famous burritos.
My boyfriend.
Carl will appreciate our cultural sensitivity.
My Mexican boyfriend. My Mexican immigration rights attorney boyfriend.
Look, I'd rather he was bringing an Angela home, okay? But,
Home for dinner, the two of us. Me and Angel.
I don't want to chase away your boy.